Guys, you're watching BTech. I'm about to recording this on a Nokia 8 and a Lumia 1020 front camera. The Lumia 1020 has a 1.2 megapixel front camera. That is teeny. I'm in Oxford Street, you can see it behind me. Hopefully this gives you an idea as to how those two cameras stack up, but I know what you really want to know. How the rear cameras stack up. The 41 megapixel pure view camera on the Lumia 1020 versus a dual camera on the Nokia 8 with its f2 lens and all those smarts. Keep watching to find out, but before you do, subscribe to the channel. That's how you're going to stay on top of everything that we do. Thanks for watching BTech. You're watching BTech. I'm in busy, bustling Oxford Street with a Nokia 8 and a Lumia 1020 doing a comparison, both full HD videos, optical image stabilization on both, dual camera on the Nokia 8, 41 megapixel camera on the 1020. Like I said, Oxford Circus have assigned first test we can see the closest focal range. Now the phones, it'll be interesting to see whether you get the surround effect on the 1020 that you get on the Nokia 8. It has got some advanced audio. You can control the hertz of audio. It's currently filming at the default 100. I can now see that the Nokia 8 has a closer focal range. How do they stack up with regards to exposure shifting? The Lumia 1020 takes longer to shift exposure than the Nokia 8 based on what is going on the screen. But it looks like it potentially handles dynamic range a bit better based on what's going on in the tarpaulin. That said, let's take a look around and we can do stuff like check out check out background blur. So I'll get right in on this tree. The light is coming in from behind, so maybe stack one phone on top of the other. You've got, I'm going to tap on the Lumia 1020, both creating a nice amount of background blur and both comfortably focusing on the tree. Though the 1020, like I said earlier, doesn't focus in quite as close as the Nokia 8. Now let's test out the zoom. So going to pinch out, focus in on that tree again, and focusing in on the tree from a distance on the Lumia 1020 still creates background blur. That is ace. I'm going to zoom as far as I can. I think it's a 3 times zoom in on that little nook on the tree, and I will do the same. Oh, it gets much closer on the Nokia 8. Both of these held really nice and steady. I could get even closer still on the Nokia 8. That's the closest focal zoom. But you can see it's having a few issues with focus. Yeah, looks good. So the zoom on both looks great, but because you've got more of a zoom on the Lumia, on the Nokia 8, it gets things a little bit shakier and focus plays up a bit more. But what's really nice, the user interface, just swipe up, slide up on the Lumia 1020 in order to activate the zoom, which is really great. So I can't wait to get the videos and pictures off of these devices so that we can see how they actually stack up against each other. Hey Duke. Hey, this is an indoor sample shot on both the Nokia 8 and the Nokia Lumia 1020. So without that background noise of the street, you should both get an idea, hopefully, of how it sounds indoors with a cat purring in front of the camera. This should get the stereo effect on the Nokia 8 through loud and clear. This is a low light video shot with a crazy cat getting into better lighting. And let's get back to low light down here across both the Nokia Lumia 1020 and the Nokia 8. And he's back. And he's gone. So when it comes to video, the 1020 is still pretty freaking awesome, but you can definitely see the optical image stabilization just creates too much of a rolling shutter, and it doesn't compensate for exposure shifting quite as quickly as the Nokia 8. The Nokia 8 is cool, but the Nokia 8 isn't perfect. It doesn't seem to have quite as good dynamic range. Also, the audio from both was excellent, but the Nokia 8 wasn't able to isolate my voice quite as well as the Lumia 1020, picking up on a fair bit more background wind. Right, what about photography? You can see this first shot taken on the Lumia 1020 looks eye-catching because it's so bright and poppy. The Nokia 8's much more subdued, and stylistically it just seems like that's what
Nokia has gone for. We've seen this in our other comparisons too. Side by side, I personally pick the Lumia 1020 shot every day, although the Nokia 8 one is still nice and sharp when you get close. Taking a look at a street sign, you can see it's a very similar pattern. The Nokia 8's shot is just much more subdued by comparison. If you get right up close, I took this at 41 megapixels on the Lumia 1020, so you can see that insane resolution really comes through. Loads more detail. Nokia 8, respectable, but when it comes to detail, there's no way it could have won. As for this shot with a lot of greenery, a few color changes and highish contrast, you can see that the Nokia 8 is so much more subdued, so much less saturated, but what it does seem to do is it pulls more nuance from the leaves and the foliage, so I can definitely see why someone would want this shot over the Lumia 1020s. As for which one's more realistic, I'd say the Lumia 1020 is a bit oversaturated and the Nokia 8 a bit under. And when it comes to low light, the final test of the day, the Lumia 1020 keeps things nice and warm and a little bit noisy, but relatively sharp given the lighting. If we take a look at the Nokia 8, much less noise, much less warm, and much less detail. The flamingo, the signature, it's all lost in this picture. But if you're not a stickler for detail and you just want less noise, then obviously the Nokia 8 is very pleasing, and it's managed to get the white balance that bit better. The Lumia 1020 tends to lean to the warm side. Hopefully you enjoyed this comparison between the iconic Lumia 1020 and the brand spanking new Nokia 8. Next video will very likely be the Nokia 8 review. So if you've got any questions, anything you want to know about it, find them in the comments section below. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. It's how you're going to stay on top of everything that I do. Thanks for watching BTech.